Hey tankers, and welcome back to World of Tanks and PR154, where we're here today on Abbey in the Tier 10 Soviet versatile medium tank, the Obj.140. This is a Tier 10 tank that is a bit of a staple of competitive play, at least for those clans that haven't made their way into the event modes and having picked up Object 907s from either success in those modes or through bond auctions that occur afterwards. And one of the draws of this tank is that it really does cover off the holy trinity of armor, firepower, and mobility. It's got 100mm main armament. Does fire quite quickly, delivering 320 hit points of alpha per shot, penetrating for 264mm. With the standard stuff, but you can change that up to the oh-so famous Russian 100mm heat for 330mm of penetration if required. Now, under normal circumstances, this gun is quite accurate and quite capable, although our gunnery against this Char Future 4 might suggest otherwise. We've actually taken 3 shots so far this game and have not connected a single one of them. Fortunately, the Object 277 that snuck up behind us wasn't quite able to connect that one either. Now finally we get first blood of the game on the Char Future 4. Bit of a lucky bounce there from the VZ55, so we'll just leave that side alone for the moment. And we'll try and find that Object 277. It's probably we're up here alone, so the last thing we want is the big Soviet heavy tank crawling up to dig us out. So just poking around. If we were to persist on that other side as well, just bearing in mind, hey, there we go, penetrating hit against the Object 277. At the moment, the only friendly vehicle we have on the 8 line is the Skoda T50, so we are probably not going to be able to do much good unless we're sort of spotting and shooting our own food, just because we're probably unable to generate a crossfire based on how that Skoda T50 is positioned alone and given the numbers of enemy tanks that are playing back there. We can see the VZ55 has just about pushed up all the way. It has a Bashation 25T not too far behind it. Bit of a swing and a miss there, and we can see the enemy has actually broken through that gap at B8. So we're trying to pour the fire in and support, but again, our gunnery letting us down rather horrendously here. We've only landed 2 penetrating hits, fortunately 3 penetrating hits in the battle so far. We might have an opportunity for a kill here, and the shell goes true, and we get our first kill of the game on the Batchat 25T. The Char Future 4 has found us, but we're able to get a shot into it in return. You can see our Leopard 1 is getting wrapped up by a couple of enemy vehicles down there, but we're able to get a shot into the Batchat, into the Char Future 4 first. The enemy STB-1 is now potentially one-shottable for us, maybe with a little bit of RNG, but what doesn't need RNG here is the UDES-16. We'll eat a shell from it into the tracks and shut it down for our second kill of the game. Now we're starting to make a little bit of mission progress here, as we can see, so we'll go to that in a second. We're just looking to try to shut down a few of these enemy vehicles. There's another penetrating hit to the enemy T30. We've got a few enemies in there. Unfortunately, didn't quite manage to land a killing blow of the T30 in that instance. It is being protected by the 50 TP. Again, gunnery not working in our favour. It was getting quite tense there, but we're finally able to knock out the T30 for our first kill of the game. So having a look at this, we're currently on campaign mission Union-4 for the Chimera, and we're actually now just able to knock that over. We've been able to destroy 4 enemy vehicles of 2 different types. So there's at least been a medium tank and, well, there's a couple of medium tanks there, and a tank destroyer as well with the T30. So that's been able to satisfy that primary condition. Now all we have to do is just survive through the rest of this battle. And from our position on high, I'm fairly confident that we could do that. We do have a significant numerical and hit point advantage, so we just have to see this battle through. Anything at this point that comes into the gun line of the Object-140 is going to feel it. We've used all of our standard armor piercing shells. We're just down to the heat shells with their 330 millimeters of penetration. And we've got opponents downrange like the 50 TP and the T95 that, granted, they're showing their sides, but I'm certainly quite happy to be having heat shells available to throw at these enemies, particularly when they're starting to touch the limits of our view range, and that's, I guess, with distance, your kinetic shells, such as your AP and your APCR, tend to suffer over distance, whereas your heat and your high explosive shells do not. You can see the two lads of Morsis Mihi, Slingshot and Fuzzy Boy, are moving in for these, the 50 TP and the T95. Doing quite well there. We've got the AE Phase 1 and the Object.140. The Fuzzy Boy doing a very neat job of shielding his comrade there. And the 50 TP not quite able to land the killing shot on Object.772. And I guess that's testament to the brilliant armor of that vehicle. We haven't actually reviewed that one on the channel at any stage, but we should take a look at that at some point. Now it's just one enemy vehicle left, the Leopard 1. Again, very unlikely at this point in time that we're going to miss out on our honest condition, that is to survive the battle. Nevertheless, we're just doing a quick inspection of this slope before we proceed. The last thing we want to do is dive off a cliff and be crushed and miss out on our honest condition for Union-4 for the Chimera. But we might just have the mobility to run in and clutch a 5th kill of the game, just depending on where that Leopard 1 is, whether they're hiding in the bushes at the back or whether they've started to make a play up the 8 line in the hope of knocking out a weaker opponent. But he's got a full health Object-140 in front of them, so it's probably unlikely that they're going to come off that fight unscathed. And can we get in and get our 5th kill of the game? Not this time. That one goes to the Object-140, but not to worry, we don't care. We've got the honest condition for Object-4.2 for the Chimera. Let's take a quick look at those results. So overall, there wasn't a spectacular game. We've got just a level 2 mastery, but you don't really care when you're knocking over these personal campaign missions with honors. You don't really care. So what we've been able to do, just to recap, is we have to destroy 4 enemy vehicles, and they have to be of 2 different types. So we've knocked out 3 enemy medium tanks and a tank destroyer, the T-30. So that's our 4 kills, and there are 2 different types. And of course we'd survived the battle as well, allowing us to pick up that honors condition. We've picked up a couple of badges of merit for our efforts as well. The Bruiser Medal for causing damage to enemy vehicles, modules or crew at least 5 times in the course of the battle. We picked up the Duelist Medal for destroying 2 enemy vehicles that had caused damage to us in turn. We picked up the Fighter Medal, again for our sort of 4 kills, and the Fire for Effect Medal for doing at least 8 hit points in damage, which with 3,300 hit points, just about, damage inflicted, we're pretty happy with that. A couple of lucky bounces along the way there, which certainly didn't hurt our prospects either. Having a look at the team scores, we've managed top by experience, not by too much. We're closely followed there by Fuzzy Boy of the Mihi clan. It's always reassuring to load in with a couple of Mihi lads on your team. They do have a strong tendency to work in your favour. Having a look at the other side, there's the FE4004 Conway that has done quite well with nearly 4,600 hit points of damage inflicted. In fact, they actually landed a hit on us on our run up the hill initially, but fortunately we're just running the smaller gun, so we're only able to take sort of 420 hit points off us there. So quite grateful for that. A look at our financial position. We did have a couple of boosters running there between battle payments and the personal missions payout associated with completing the task. So that gave us sort of 50,000 credits there. So we'd sort of netted 33,000 credits at tier 10. So I was quite happy with that. tier 10 is just not normally that realm in which you expect to go up and make credits. But in any case, we weren't firing a hell of a lot of the premium ammunition. I think it would have been quite a costly game if we had. And I guess that's primarily owing to just the sheer number of shots fired for the lack of penetrating hit. Look at this, we fired 23 shots, only landed 15 of them. So that was potentially going to be quite expensive for us. Fortunately, it wasn't, and we got a personal campaign mission out of it as well, so happy days. And if you'd like to see one of your replays featured on World of Tanks with PR154, please give us a shout over Discord or any of the links below, and we'll do our best to sort you out. In the meantime, take care out there.